Hello, Ruth. Hey, Ruth. Here I am, sitting in my home in Sydney, Australia. And Glenn and Irene. And how are you all going over there? I wished I was over there sharing with you one of those big roast beef dinners, or those big turkey dinners, Glenn, that you cook up. I never forget that. That was a beautiful night and a beautiful dinner that when we had at your place. My friend Monty here, I'll have you talk to him on the phone shortly to tell you how to put this on your computer, in case you don't know. It's a YouTube, he says. And this video should come over there so you can see it, Ruth, see what's going on with me over here. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. I'll be 86 this coming March, and I'm still wondering what I'm going to do when I grow up. But I'll show you shortly what I've been doing for the last few years. And Monty just came in this morning to video me, and so we'll have a little tour around and see what's going on here. And I'll show you what's happening down here to get ready for the getting ready, Ruth, for my life's history. Now, Monty, show her, if you can show her all my the trays here that I've got. These are all here, Ruth, my life history. I've gradually started putting them there, all through there. The psychology and the water shops and Fantasyland and the motorhomes and all my history back and so forth. So down below here, these are all ailments. Now I'm putting anything to do with stress, anything to do with Parkinson's disease. I'm going through hundreds of magazines that Herb left, and also Vince left hundreds. So I'm going through them, tearing out the pages that's appropriate for here, and throwing the magazines away. So now I'll be able to pull these out for cancer, any other project, and ailment, I should say. Anyway, that's what I'm up to, Ruth, now. And this used to be, I'll get this seat working here. This used to be the dining room here of the place, but I never use it because I never have anyone here. I've been here now 3 years in this house, and I've only had maybe 2 or 3 people. Today I had the fella and his wife come here, and I gave them 100 boxes of different items I had stored up in the attic. I'm trying to clean up a lot of stuff here. So they're health type of people. So we had a breakfast for them here. And well, anyhow, this is where I spend a lot of my time in here now, sorting things out. And let's see, what should I tell you? This Ruth over here is another project on this here, Monty. If you'll show her that mirror over there. This is another project that I spent over a year getting ready to advertise, all about chemicals in foods. And I say that people are on death row now. And with all these chemicals, it's poisoned them, and everybody's ailing and sick and everything else. So I've been busy day and night here trying to get things ready. And a friend of mine, he is going to bring in a machine for me this week that I can speak into on the computer. He's going to program it for me. I'll speak into on the computer, and it will automatically type out what I'm saying. So I have everything ready now. I've got hundreds of things that I did in my life. Like, for example, here, you remember this was Eden Hot Springs in Hemet, California, Ruth. And so when I see these things, then I tell a story about them for the book. Now this Pim, you remember Pim, Dave and I, on the Pim perfume business. And I got hundreds and hundreds of things, Ruth. this is the house that I built on the farm. Do you remember in Roy Avenue in, I think, yeah, Roy Avenue in Burnaby? That was the house I built when I was a kid. And these are the people. Jackie and I, one year, I forget when it was, what year it was here, we went to see this lady, and she allowed us to go in the house 65 years after I built it. It was here. That's Jackie Bull, and the lady that bought the house. I forget what date it was. Yeah. Anyhow, it was quite a few years ago when I was over there. And I got hundreds and hundreds of notice. I don't know, do you remember, Ruth, the smash up that fella smashed into me on the Fraser Highway? I don't know if you remember or not on that. And so each one has a big story to tell. That's Ray. You remember Ray Pridey, the entertainer? And that's so I got baskets and baskets full of this kind of stuff. This is an introduction agency I started up, Uncle Cliff. Personally for Uncle Cliff. That was a big deal. I had, what, 1,500 people there one afternoon. You remember this, Ruth? Here? Cliff, Ruth, and Thel. This was on June the 16th, 03. You remember you took us on the Kettle Valley Railway, Ruth? Well, then I kept that. There it is, the ticket and everything. You remember that? We had a good time that day. So I just go through all these. This is the first motorhome that I built in 1972. And then Janice and I, we traveled all around in it. And the Women's Magazine, the Women's Weekly, wrote us up about it, the first one in Australia. So that's how I'm going to tell my life story. And this one here is another book that I wrote here about what lies ahead. I showed this to Herb. I had all the manuscripts, and I spent a year on this. It cost me about $10,000 to have it typed and all that. But anyhow, Herb says, why would you bother telling people all that stuff? He said, it just maybe hurt them. He knows it's true, but what to hurt them. So he said, why don't you put a book on health? And that's why I wrote the other book. So I still got that in file. And that's the Eden Hot Springs. You'll remember that. The Eden Hot Springs. There we had all that going there. And Herb said after 20 years, when he was going around in, I think California, yeah, one of the chiropractors, he said, do you have a brother, Herb, that used to have a hot springs up in Hemet? And Herb said, yeah, 20 years. And he said, has he still got it for sale? He was interested now after 20 years. Now there's the, Ruth, you'll know that. Do you remember that one? That's Dave Godkin and me. We were bulldozing, getting ready for the nursing home. You remember the nursing home here we were going to build? There's a Valley View Lodge. We were going to build cottages here and a nursing home here. So, see, I got all this stuff. Now this here, that's in Australia. You wouldn't remember that. Do you remember? Remember the place we bought on Hope Princeton Highway, the concentration camp for the Japanese? You'll see it there, Boys Town, and there it is there. Yeah, so that's another project. And then this is the one in Australia. This is a UFO that I built. That's a UFO, yeah. And then this one here is when I was helping out the publicity for Boys Town. You remember that, Ruth? You remember everything. And this is Australia. This is when I started the Inventors Organization. They wrote me up on another publicity. And this, I used to have this business in Burnaby, Ruth. What is it? In food, the Food for Life. You remember the dehydrated food I had for the air raid shelters and all that? There it is. Super Food Bank. Foods for Life. I don't know if you remember a lot of these, Ruth. I can't remember. And there's the house we were born in, Ruth. It's still there. and next door, Monty pulled this up on the internet, and they painted a little bit green there. So that's the one there. Yeah. What else, Monty? Let's see. That's Vancouver. And this is meetings I had way back in 1998 in a hotel, the Hilton Hotel here. Keys to Successful Living. I had big crowds at them time. And I put this brochure out. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of things. That's Eden Hot Springs again, Canadian Hot Springs. This is a Christmas party from the ABC, a big radio station over here. They invited me there, this staff invited me there for Christmas. There's me here, and there's a little Scotch girl here, and all these people work there. And this fella I knew, a computer fella. And so we had the whole place to ourselves, I think 6 stories high. And we went through all the studios where everybody spoke from and everything. And so we had a little Christmas party here. And then this is when I held a lot of seminars here. There's Janice in the front here, and Andrea is here. Yeah, this is where I was demonstrating in there. Yeah. Let's see. So it surprises me when I look at a lot of this stuff. This is this fellow introducing me here, and here I am speaking here, and these are some friends of mine. That's Tony over there. That's Tony, and this is Morris in there. That was in a Masonic hall. This is the headquarters I had before I came to Canada the last time. I had this whole headquarters here, beautiful dining room, everything for the health place. And they tore the building down. Yeah, this is some of the posters we have on the streets. The little fella died that did all them for me. You remember, Ruth, way back in Glebe, I showed you the health shop that I started over there. Well, that's it there, way back in 1974. Yeah, and this is more pictures of my offices on the headquarters in Parramatta Road. These are meetings I hold with what they call a gazebo in all the different markets here. And I speak to them here and show them pictures and everything. This is where I was holding a big meeting on TV, Channel 31. I was showing people how I pull the intestine out of the person's stomach here. This girl I picked up from the audience. And this girl here was one of my producers. So we had a great time. This is Satya. This is Dan's daughter, Deb. That's our granddaughter, Satya. Yeah, I haven't got them in order right now. And there was Dave Bull. That's Dave Bull here, and that's Ray. He came to visit there when Tal and I were there. And that's Dave Bull in his thing. This is where I first started 25 years ago, helped Dave build this barn. That's the first barn he had there. And then this here is Jimmy Hastings, and that's Ray's little son that grew up to be a big fella in the Arizona in the food business, and his 2 sons have become millionaires on playing baseball for America. So this is Ruth. You know her, Ruth Moore here. And you remember here, Ruth? You and I here, and the boxes we shipped. Look at that. Oh boy, Ruth, remember that? You're still smiling here. Oh man, you know, that was quite a time. But anyhow, that's just a few little things. That's just a few little things here, Ruth. Here's some of the houses I built. I built this one here. Oh, I think you were here. I think you were in Australia when I built that. When you saw that, you and Herb were over here. Yeah. And What else? Well, now, Ruth, there's no end to it. You and I could talk on for the next year about things. But this will give you a little idea of what I've been doing. I haven't been sleeping. I haven't had time to lay on the beach for one day in my life. There's always something to do that I want to get into. And now I'm trying to wind up things because it's becoming a big headache now, dealing with the traffic and the people, and everything has changed. The whole world has changed here now. So here, have a nut, Ruth. Have an almond. If you don't like almond, you can have some walnuts, or these are macadamia nuts. They're grown here in Australia. So yeah, well anyhow, Ruth, it was good talking to you the other night. I was telling Monty there's nobody like you, that you and I can talk about things forever, and because we go back a long way. So, Mont, I want you to show her the office. We'll go and see. You got time? No time. No, well, okay. Listen, Ruth, and Glenn, and Irene, you take care of yourselves and look after Ruth. And she's a very important person, you know that. And you're great people too. And I hope maybe next year to get over, Glenn, for one of those big roast beef dinners. I'll take you up on that. So you take care, and I love you, Ruth, and all the best to all over there in Canada. So I'll say goodbye for now. You take care.